I'm going out, I gotta go. I'll bang a rang on the radio. So turn it up, I'm telling you. I think I'm ready for something new. Hey, hello, it's nice to meet ya. Hey, come in and have a slice of pizza. Hey, hello, it's nice to meet ya. Hey, come in and have a slice of pizza.
Hi, I'm Noelle, and today I'm joined by Leah. How are you?
Hi, I'm good. Wait, hold on. Sorry. I feel like I just jumped on here and there we go. I'm trying to turn this filter thing off.
Okay, you're good. All right.
Hello. Nice to meet you.
Hi, it's
Thanks for
nice to
having
meet
me
you too.
on.
Yeah. So, first off, where are you from originally?
I'm from New Jersey. I
Okay,
am in Los Angeles right now, but I am originally from Point Pleasant, New Jersey.
nice. So, you just released your new song, FTS Sick of This, yesterday. So, can you talk about what that song is about and like kind of what the lyrics mean to you?
Yeah, that song, it honestly, I feel like ever since I wrote it, it's been about a year. I sat
Mhm.
down on Zoom with Mike Grubbs from One Tree Hill. He was in Wakey Wakey, which is a band.
Okay.
We're writing together. We wrote my first song, FULOL, together, and then we decided we wanted to go and write another song together. And it was so easy to write with him. I think we both realized our like writing chemistry, and that's kind of how FTS came about. But
Mhm.
ever since I wrote it, I'm like, I need a song to relate to how I'm feeling all the time. And then I'm like, wait, I already wrote that.
Yeah.
So essentially it's just kind of being overworked and trying to chase a dream and a passion, but having to, of course, find this balance between that and like the things that actually make money and the things that help you
Mhm.
survive and live your life and put money and invest into this career. So
Yeah.
it's a never-ending struggle, I feel like, as an independent artist, to be able
Mhm.
to financially afford this life. I want to say
Yeah.
lifestyle, but it's like I don't know. I wouldn't have it any other way. It's not, this is
Yeah.
just like what I'm supposed to be doing. So it's a
Yeah.
struggle, but it's worth it. It's just really hard, and that song kind of goes through the notions of all those feelings.
Yeah. And I mean, I can even relate to that too, because most things that you're like passionate about usually don't pay that much money, you know? But yeah, that's definitely a very real issue. But you have a new EP coming out in February next year that features Kellen Quinn on guest vocals and co-writing from Casey Cavalier of the Wonder Years. That's so awesome. And I think Kellen Quinn's voice would go great with yours. So what was it like working with him?
Yeah, it was awesome. It's funny because wait, I have like a funny story about our vocals together because
Okay.
when I sent them in to my producer to kind of organize, because Kellen sent me his own batch of like his writing and vocals, and then I
Mhm.
sent those to my producer to kind of intertwine with mine and decide what parts we're going to keep in, where we're going to put them, etc.
Yeah.
And Chase was like, you guys sound the same at some points, and I had trouble identifying who was who because
Yeah.
I guess at like some part of our vocal range we like kind of mix together, whereas like Kellen has a very
Yeah.
like higher feminine like voice, and
Yeah.
I can't hit those notes. I have like a deeper masculine tone to my
Yeah.
voice, so eventually we like mixed in the middle, and
Yeah.
Chase was like, yeah, I couldn't figure out which part was yours. I was like, can you put my vocals up here a little bit? And he was like, I thought yours were up already. I'm like, no, that's Kellen's.
Yeah. Oh, that's
So
funny.
that was just like a little fun tidbit of the experience, but just
Yeah.
working with him in general. I mean, we only had email communication, but
Mhm.
he had been a blast to work with. He gave me all the vocal stems I needed and more. He wrote an incredible part
Mhm.
on the song, and I'm so happy with how it came out. It's really cool
Cool.
listening back and just playing it to myself and being like, that's my song. Like
Yeah.
I'm not sleeping with sirens, that's my song.
Yeah.
So it's really, really cool to hear that. And he's just a very professional and kind person. Everyone I've talked to about it like also said that he's a joy to work with and a very awesome person.
Oh,
So I'm very
cool.
honored to have been able to
Yeah.
with him in a very small capacity.
Yeah. Well, I'm excited to hear it. So, how would
Yeah.
you describe your sound? like musically?
I feel like it's a long time coming, but I finally just figured out, I think, what I want my sound to be and what represents me the best. And it would, I don't know, it's kind of simple, but and I feel like there's a lot of other artists in this little niche genre, but it's definitely like pop and pop punk meshed together, with
Mhm.
like some hip hop elements to create like new punk, but also still very mainstream and commercial. There are other artists like today, such as like 408, Magnolia Park, Honey Revenge, that I feel like are
Mhm.
nailing that sound as well. So I don't know if there's a specific genre for it, but I know we throw around words like pop rock, pop punk,
Yeah.
pop, and alternative pop. So I would say I feel very at home in that pool of people and artists and
Okay.
sound.
Cool. So, what first got you into music or singing?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I so unexpected answer, I feel like, from me, but I grew up in a Catholic church, going to Catholic school. Um,
Okay.
and that my mom put me in because my family, my cousins had gone in it, and I
Mhm.
grew up singing in a church choir, and then
Oh,
got like promoted as like a middle schooler to the altar, which is like, a big deal
yeah.
for a kid, like in front of like, I don't know, hundreds of people at church. Like that's a
Yeah.
pretty big audience.
Yeah,
um,
it is.
but that got me into singing, and I realized like how much I love to sing, and I would join like the school choirs and stuff. So it was just kind of a thing that I've been doing since I was able to speak, and going into school and singing in like preschool choirs and stuff. It's just
Yeah.
always been my thing.
Cool. So, if you weren't doing music, what do you think you might be doing instead, if
Ooh.
anything?
I mean, there's still goals to do this maybe in my like retirement stage of my career, but I want to own a bar. Um,
Okay.
maybe a brewery, but I think an overall bar, but it has to have something like unique and special to it, and it'll likely be combined with a music venue.
Hmm.
Um, so that would probably be what I'm doing. I mean, I work at a brewery now too, as like
Yeah.
my part-time thing, and so I'm kind
Okay.
of doing it now as well. But yeah, it would be working and owning my own bar and like putting bands on stage, and yeah, I think that would be it.
Cool. That's interesting to hear. So I heard you also worked at a karaoke place, and I don't know if you still work there, but what's your favorite karaoke song to sing?
Ooh, okay. Well, actually, I don't know which ones. I'm gonna show you this list. I have this whole list. My friends think I'm insane when I bring it up, but I have this like whole list of karaoke songs
Okay.
that I like. I At first I was just looking at it to like decide what I'm gonna sing and then, you know,
Yeah.
write it down. But now that I've gone through this list like dozens of times, whoever I'm with, I'll pass the phone and be like, "What song do you want to hear me sing?"
Yeah.
But I guess I don't know. I want to say like there's like my go-tos and my favorites. I would say my go-tos are definitely Burning Up by the Jonas Brothers because that gets a crowd really
Okay.
excited. And then it depends on like the age and where I'm at, but
Yeah.
Santeria is also a really huge song, and it's a classic karaoke song, but no
Yeah.
matter where I go, the whole place loses their mind over Santeria. I love singing that. Um, but yeah, my favorite one, I guess on this list, I'm trying to think. I really I love singing Lollipop, the Framing Hanley version, because I
Yeah.
wrote the cover of that as well.
Yeah.
And that's really fun because they have that online. And then like kind of like Crazy Bitch by Buckcherry. That's really
Okay.
fun too. I kind of like to pull those out of my pocket and be like, surprise, these are
Yeah.
fun and aggressive songs to sing.
Yeah, and I do really like your cover of that song, Lollipop.
Yay.
I like how it's like more rock. I think it sounds better that way, honestly.
It's
But
cool. It's so interesting how Framing Hanley did it. Honestly, it's
yeah,
it's like admirable how like they took the song and absolutely changed it up, and
yeah.
you know it's still like a Lil Wayne song at the end of the day. Like he
Mhm.
wrote a banger, but it's so cool how many different ways you can take it. I've heard when that song was
Yeah.
big, I heard like acoustic covers of it, and I'm like, this is
Yeah.
insane. But good for everybody who
Yeah.
contributed that song.
Yeah, that's cool to hear like different versions of it. So, are there any other songs you'd like to cover in the future?
Oh, what was the next one I was thinking of? Was it? maybe it was Crazy Bitch by Buck Cherry. I feel like that would be a little weird to cover though, on like as a release.
Hmm.
Ooh, I really love I Don't Want to Be in Love by Good Charlotte. I think that's
Okay.
always a go-to one that I play at emo nights. That would
Hmm.
be really fun to cover. That or To Be Loved by Papa Roach. That one's also
Okay.
really
Yeah,
fun. I feel
that'd
like
be
those
good.
are on my like cover radars right now.
Yeah. I haven't really done karaoke before, but like if I was gonna do it, I'd definitely do something like heavier just
Ah,
because it's like unexpected and I like that better.
that's
But
the cool thing about the place that I work, like the Good Night down the road from me is
yeah.
that they like get some really like unique people in there, and there's a lot of like rock and metal covers that happen in
Oh,
this
cool.
karaoke bar. And I'm like, you don't really see that often. I
Yeah,
kind
you
of like
don't.
it.
Yeah. So, have there been any challenges or like weird things that have happened at shows or like when you're on the road or maybe like even when you're recording?
Ooh. Oh my gosh, I'm racking my brain to see if I could think of anything that's challenging that have happened. I don't
Like when
uh
you're writing a song or anything?
I mean the longest ongoing story of writing a song is I literally just stop after the first chorus and I never get a second verse. Like
Yeah.
that's like my biggest challenge.
Yeah.
Um I for some reason I like tap out after when once the second verse is about to, like I could write a bridge. Like even I guess I Like You Anyway.
Hmm.
It technically has a second verse, but everyone on my team was calling that the bridge, and I'm like, did I ever write a second verse or did I just write like first verse, chorus, bridge, chorus? Like is
Yeah.
my song for some reason just do that.
Yeah. So, what artists or bands inspire or like influence you when you're writing songs?
When I'm writing, I always go back to Mayday Parade and Secondhand Serenade. It's just been like
Yeah.
the inspo from the start ever since I started
Okay.
songwriting in like fifth grade. That was just like what I think about. I think now when I'm writing, now that like my voice has matured a bit and I am starting to like come into like my vocal sound overall, I think a lot of Go Radio, like
Hmm.
Jason's voice is just kind of like being the voice that's singing it while I'm writing it. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that's how I want it to sound when I sing it. And now that I'm
Hmm.
older, I kind of can.
Yeah.
Um, and
Cool.
that's pretty cool. But yeah.
So, what is your like songwriting process? Like, do you usually write the lyrics first or the music or?
Recently I've been writing the lyrics for oh no, it's always to melody. So if I'm writing the lyrics, it's going to be to a melody.
Mhm.
That's almost always the case for me. Back a couple years ago, I would sit at, and I still do it occasionally, but I'd sit at my piano or guitar and I just like play some chords over and over again and write something over that. And then it
Mhm.
sticks, and then I like fine tune it on my notes app.
Okay.
Um, but I find myself just like random places, whether it's like my bed in the middle of the night. It's always at like ungodly hours. It's always
Yeah.
like 4 a.m. And I'll just be like writing down this melody and singing it. And that's how I'll write an entire song. It's just like me, my voice in my head.
Yeah, that's the best time to come up with ideas at like 2 a.m.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
If you could collaborate with any artist or band, who would it be?
Ooh, honestly, I feel like I'm trying to think of like big picture or like, more attainable goals. I feel like
Yeah.
in the big picture, I would like lose my mind to feature on a song with Hollywood Undead. I feel
Oh, yeah, that'd be
that would
cool.
be super awesome, and I think it would make sense vocally.
Yeah, I could
But
see that.
yeah, let's go. I'm glad.
Yeah.
It seems like a little crazy, but I that would be like the coolest moment for me. But
Yeah.
I mean, just as in more attainable, or some artists that are doing the same thing as me but have popped off a bit and are that I look up to, definitely Charlotte Sands,
Hmm.
Magnolia Park, 408, like just people I listen to every day, and
Yeah,
those would be awesome co-writes.
for sure. So I heard you like to play video games, especially like Nintendo Switch. So what's your favorite game or like are there any you would recommend?
Okay, so I'll give a couple favorite all times, but then like one that I'm hooked on right now. So
Okay.
my all-time favorites, I feel like this is everybody's, but it's just they're iconic for a reason. Animal Crossing
Yeah.
and Breath of the Wild. You know, those are the two big ones for me.
Yeah.
But I also really loved Luigi's Mansion. But it could have
Oh
also been
yeah, I like that too.
like, yeah, it's fun as a two player, and I played it during the pandemic, so it had like a core memory moment for me.
Yeah.
Um, but right now, I've been extremely obsessed with Overcooked 2. I
Hmm.
went to Nashville to do Emo Night Nashville last week. I think you know, back in what month is it? December. Back in November.
December.
And I know I'm thinking about that. Oh boy. And my friends that I was staying with were like, "Yeah, there's this sale on the eShop with Overcooked 2. I heard it's a really fun multiplayer game." And
Yeah.
anytime I wasn't with other music friends or like writing or on stage, we were on the couch playing Overcooked, and I brought it back here to
Nice.
LA and made my roommate play it with me, and I am determined to beat it. That game is so much fun.
Yeah. Cool. So, you got to play Emo Night Nashville. How was that?
It was such a crazy experience. I just posted my recap video of it. I was like, I need a week. Let me like simmer down and back into the
Yeah.
reality of things, and then I can revisit like the moment and like it just you know, make me happy again, like I'm there again. But
Yeah.
really awesome experience. It was so cool to be backstage with so many talented and incredible people and get to know other artists and
Mhm.
perform in front of like the biggest crowd that I've ever performed in front
Oh,
of.
cool.
Absolutely nuts. It was amazing.
Yeah. I also saw Reese Young perform there too, and I actually interviewed him before at like Riot Fest. So that's cool that you like performed with him.
Oh, he's the homie. We actually
Yeah.
have a special announcement coming out soon with
Oh,
for
cool.
a show potentially. So keep your eyes
Nice.
peeled for that.
All right. And what has been your favorite venue to play at so far, or which one do you really want to play like sometime in the future?
Ooh,
It could be
favorite.
big or small.
Oh my goodness. Well, I feel like I have a goal venue that I definitely want to play because I'm from Jersey, and there's
Hmm.
a lot of amazing bands that come through to Asbury Park. And so I think it'd be like the dream to play the outdoor Stone Pony stage. Uh
Okay.
but that's like their biggest stage. So that would be like a crazy goal of mine. That would be super cool to do. So that's like the dream venue. But
Hmm.
coolest one I've played so far. I mean, I don't know. They're all just they're all just like venues. You know how they're kind of like divey,
Yeah.
but super cool. And I don't know. I feel like I've definitely thought it was really awesome that I got to play at Chain Reaction. That was a big
Hmm.
favorite of mine. We didn't have the show wasn't promoted crazily. It was kind of like an off day, so there wasn't like a lot of people in the audience, but to be
Yeah.
actually in that venue was really cool.
Yeah.
But also like Marathon Music Works in Nashville, since it was just like this giant industrial building and it was packed to the brim. Like that was
Yeah.
probably one of my favorite venues to be in.
Awesome. So, are there any specific record labels you like to be signed to in the future, or would you rather stay independent?
Ooh, the question of the century.
Yeah.
I'm like, what do I share? I definitely, I will say there are some labels that I have been following following a very close eye on, and
Mhm.
you know, maybe vice versa, that I really like, and they are independent and they're also in like the alternative scene. I probably won't name any names, but I do like staying independent, but I would love some support. My thought is at the end of the day, I still owe somebody money, whether it is the bank or a label. So
Yeah.
uh I would love some like marketing support, some booking support. And I do all this independently, like to
Yeah.
the T. I'm my own manager and everything. So it's cool what I'm capable of, but I also really need the
Yeah.
help. So yes, there are a few off the top of my head, but I don't know. We're just gonna see what
Yeah.
happens.
Cool. So I saw that you had like a permanently closed series on YouTube where you like explored abandoned places. And I watched BuzzFeed Unsolved, so I like that it's a little similar to that in a way. I mean, like BuzzFeed is like ghost hunting, but I was
Yeah, yeah.
wondering if you'd ever do like another episode of that because I think that was a fun series.
Ah, thank you so much. That's awesome. I love that. Like it's still on. I have the videos up. I never take them down.
Yeah.
I created such a cool, or like got to become part of a cool community, but also created a really cool community through urban exploring. It
Yeah.
was like my biggest hobby and passion back when I was in college and a little bit after. Unfortunately, like in LA, there's not a lot of places that are accessible.
Yeah.
Very obviously very illegal to trespass on abandoned properties. But there are
Yeah.
some really cool places like Bombay Beach and East Jesus and Slab City that I have gotten to visit. I did film a bit of it, so I have these like
Okay.
unedited like videos that I want to kind of put up as permanently closed, but
Yeah.
I haven't decided if like I'm closing that chapter yet as like the online part of it. I will say
Yeah.
that I am still talking to some like big pages that do urbex on a bigger scale. Like that's their thing. Like my thing's
Hmm.
music, their thing is urbex, and there might be a collaboration in the future.
Okay.
Maybe on social media with like urban
Interesting.
exploring, but
Yeah.
yeah, it holds a very dear place to my heart. I've met a lot of my closest friends through it, so I definitely
Cool.
appreciate the recognition from it.
Yeah. And you went to school for film, right?
So
So,
I went to school for music, but I did a minor in communication. So
okay.
I guess essentially I did have a lot of classes in film and editing and whatnot, but
Okay.
most of it I use today for online social media content.
Yeah. Because I was gonna say that like that would make sense how you like filmed those videos and like edited them and all that.
Yeah,
So,
exactly.
yeah. That's cool. So, what is your favorite song that you've released so far?
Ooh, honestly, I feel like it's I Guess I Like You Anyway, because I listen to that song as if it's like an artist I really like that released
Hmm.
it. None of my other songs, I feel like I listen to them religiously because I'm always comparing them to like my past to my present and stuff. But
Yeah.
I feel like enjoyment listening, I like actually enjoy listening to I Guess I Like You Anyway. And I'm like, if somebody else put this out, this would be my favorite song. So
Yeah.
being able to finally say that because I'm now like recording a genre and a style that I really love to listen to myself, like that's I've never been able to say that before. So it's
Yeah,
really
that's really cool. So is that also your favorite song to play live, or would that be a different one?
yeah, I think so, only because I get to teach the audience it.
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out how to do that because sometimes it works for the most part. I gotten hundreds of people to sing the chorus of that song, which is really cool, but
Yeah.
I'm still trying to figure out how to do it like and perfect it because sometimes people still get confused and I'm like, okay, how do I teach them so they do it perfectly? But either way,
Yeah.
as long as everyone's having fun, like I don't
Yeah.
care. That would
That's what's
definitely
most important.
yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
So you originally started out with like more of a pop sound and now you're kind of like making more pop punk music. So would you ever consider going like even heavier and doing maybe some hard rock stuff in the future or like trying any other genres?
Yes, and it's I don't want to say yes because I really want to like hone in what I'm doing now because I think it's working and I think people
Yeah.
like it and I think it's a perfect medium because I still love pop music, but
Yeah.
I love like I don't know, I just love the heavier stuff too. And
Mhm.
so every time I'm working with Chase in the studio, I'm like, go harder, go heavier, like we can make this
Yeah.
more rock, we can make this more metal. But at the end of the day, I don't think that my like what I think is heavy and what I think is hard is still mainstream for a lot of people.
Mhm.
So I want to go heavier, but I think it'll always turn into something that even the heaviest of the heavies like would consider pop.
Yeah. Yeah, well, I think pop punk is like a good genre for you. Like I think you're doing a good job with that.
Thank you.
So, are you planning on releasing an album anytime soon or like what musical direction do you think you would take for that?
I mean, after I honestly this FULOL and I guess I like you anyway were other than the lollipop cover because the lollipop cover released and I was like, oh, people like this. This is cool. Okay.
Yeah.
And then I started putting out the more heavier stuff from my pop projects and like the pop punk stuff and
Hmm.
it was kind of an experiment to see how I would like living in it, but also see how people would react to it. And now seeing that it's been taken really well and a lot of awesome opportunities have come from it, I am gonna like continue releasing in that style. So I'm already writing more songs. I'm gonna plan on flying out to Nashville really soon to continue writing and finishing up those songs. But I'm hoping that means an album will come in the next year, but
Yeah.
I'm like, my mind is like, I gotta get to the EP first, and then I'll see everything I've put together after that, and we'll see how
Yeah.
we're gonna roll that out.
Cool. Well, I'm excited for that. So,
Hey,
do you have any live shows coming up?
none that were announced yet. I
Okay.
am booking for 2023. I know there's a couple that are in the works in a couple different states in the next upcoming months, but nothing that has been announced or set in stone yet, so stay on the lookout for that.
Okay. So, where can our listeners find your music?
Yes, anywhere you would like to stream, Spotify, Apple, YouTube, under Leah, L space E space A, or if you're looking on socials, it's LOL, it's Leah.
Cool. And anything else you'd like to plug or mention before we go? Any other?
Happy holidays, everyone. Get a nice, I don't know when this is coming out, but get a nice break.
Yeah.
I know everyone deserves it. The year is coming to an end and ready to take 2023 full force.
Yeah. Well, thank you so much for taking the time to sit down and do this interview with me. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, thank you. I appreciate you and your time. I'm so excited.
This was fun talking. Have a good one.
You too. Bye.
Bye.
Hey, hello, it's nice to meet ya.